Joining us via the Notre Dame Day video hotline is Professor Krupali Krusche, the Academic Director of the School of Architecture's Rome Studies Program and Director of Dharma, the Digital Historic Architectural Research and Material Analysis Research Team. Her team specializes in 3D documentation of World Heritage sites. Welcome to Notre Dame Day, Krupali.
Thank you for.
Thanks so much for joining us. How are things at the Global Gateway this semester?
We are growing. It's exciting. We have a fun semester. Everybody has been traveling outside and throughout this and throughout Rome and other places in Veneto and Tuscany. It's been a great, exciting semester for everyone.
Well, it certainly sounds like a wonderful adventure for everyone involved. I understand the Dharma team is working on a really exciting project documenting the Belvedere courtyard at the Vatican. How do you approach documenting a site like that?
Well, we have three clear ways in which we structure our visit. First of all, we do pre-site work, which includes collecting all the information we possibly can about the site before we get there. So we look through archives, we look through a lot of documentation that has already existed on the Belvedere at the Vatican, and then we go on site. Our on-site work is pretty short and brief because these kind of sites, World Heritage sites, are extremely filled with tourists. There are around 6 million people that come to the Vatican every year. And so the amount of crowds that are existing there need to be contained when we do our documentation work. And so that part of the project work happens in around 10 to 12, 15 days. And then afterwards, we come back and we spend at least 6 to 10 months working on the final drawings that are part of the conservation effort that happens on the site. So at the Belvedere right now, they're doing conservation efforts for bringing back the original idea of Bramante, the original architect of the site, and we are helping them with that, with the understanding of the site for them.
All right, and it looks like you have, are those two students with you this morning?
Yes.
All right, and tell us a little bit about what exposure you guys have had to this project and to this site at the Vatican.
It's pretty great. As she said, we go on site. We do documentation sketches, document what we see, and then while we're there, we operate all the scanning equipment. We have a drone coming that we'll get to use very soon, so that's very exciting. But it's great. It's a very immersive experience. So it's one thing to study things in the classroom, but to get to be on site and actually experience it firsthand is something completely different. So.
All right, and this program is a full year, if my memory serves. I only spent, I think, 27 hours as an architecture major, so it didn't last for me, but it looks like you guys have a pretty good amount of time to spend at the site and working on this project. Am I correct?
Yes, that's been the best part of it, the fact that it's spread over a year and we've been able to work on it both semesters and keep going back to get more data as we need it. And another thing about being in Rome for a year as an architecture student, it's great because your whole classroom is basically Rome and you get taught by faculty that is Italian as well as people from all around Europe. So it's been a great experience amalgamating all the knowledge you get and applying it to your everyday work.
All right, and it sounds like Dharma is an interdisciplinary project, meaning it involves different aspects of the Notre Dame community. Tell me a little bit about what other organizations, what other majors, what other teams might be involved in this project.
So we work on, with the individual projects that we do, we work with the Ministry of Culture of that place. So in Rome, we work with the Superintendenza. At the Vatican, we work with the architectural team that's presently doing the conservation. At Taj Mahal, we work again with the Cultural Ministry of India. So these are the outside components. These are mostly archaeologists, people that are doing actual conservation work, or these are government entities that work with us. We also have a 4-year agreement with UNESCO that has been helpful in getting us access to these incredible sites that are extremely difficult to get to. And then we have interdisciplinary work that's happening on campus. We have Center of Research Computing, Dr. Chris Sweet, who is part of the team, and his research has been helpful for what we are doing in the 3D work. We've been working with the physics department. The Vatican project is a collaboration with Michael Bisha's team. And then we have been in the past also working with academic technologies, Paul Turner and his team. There's a component that we want to add with Tracy Corrier and civil engineering. So, and Mark Schuer has been working with us from anthropology before in the past. So we've had quite a lot of, depending on the type of projects we have, we do collaborate with various entities on campus to make the project more comprehensive and creative.
All right, Notre Dame is the only architecture school that requires all students, being the key word, to spend a year abroad. It's a tough bill to fill. Do you think it's the most valuable part of the architecture students' experience what do you think is the architecture students' most valuable, the most valuable aspect of their experience while studying in Rome?
I will let the students answer that, but I will tell one thing, that it's not an easy job to balance between a required program, to have all their credits been fulfilled for the required classes, and be able to enjoy and experience a full immersive experience of Europe. So that's the part that makes this place extremely unique and encouraging, at the same time extremely difficult, and a mix of lots of creative ideas. I'm going to let the students answer the question regarding what they like the most being here.
The immersive nature of it definitely has to be the most valuable aspect, because there'll oftentimes be design issues that you run into. You'll struggle with it all day, and you'll just walk home and you'll see something in the forum or around Rome that just answers your problem perfectly. So it's just being around here, seeing so many examples of great architecture. It's just so informative for us in our design process.
I also want to add that the field trips we take with our professors are one of the most valuable experiences, because you're not just in Rome for your study abroad classes, but you actually travel to different parts of Italy, in the north and the south. And when you do it with your professors, you get to experience the architecture in a different way, and you look at it through new eyes. So that's another experience that's very valuable.
Well, I think you're making a lot of us very envious. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy every minute of this experience.